Shiney D. He's in the house. Shiney D. The podcast. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the newest edition of the Shiney D podcast. We got a very special guest. We got my boy, the one, the only, the mighty Quinn Beasley. G'day, Quinn.
Oi.
So Quinn's coming fresh off a bout from Australia. Tell us a little bit about your trip, Quinn. You might have heard me mention Quinn in prior podcasts. This man is an inspiration in my life. He's like a brother. He's been touring the world, doing street shows, lighting it up. Quinn, tell us a little bit about your trip.
Oh man. I mean, I'm super jet lagged. I literally just got off a plane like 3 hours ago. But man, it's been amazing. I basically quit every job that I had, every stream of income that I had, and decided to travel the world and do street shows. And I had no idea if I was going to be successful or not. And thankfully I was. You want me to be quiet?
Just a little bit.
Wow, fucking hell.
No, don't be quiet, but just a little, less volume on the mic. You don't have to whisper.
I was so excited to just talk and talk about my journey with a full level enthusiasm, but now I'm feeling really insecure. I'm just going to whisper like this now. Is that better?
Whisper sweet nothings in their ear. The trick is if you whisper really quietly, then they get close and you can yell in their ears. So where'd you start off, bro? When did you leave? What did you
We
do?
should start this over. This is a bad start.
No, this is perfect.
This is good. It's real. It's raw.
Yeah,
it's
good.
good.
They want it unedited.
It's unfiltered.
You want it raw and wiggly.
Uncut.
Ooh, baby, they like it raw.
Oh, baby. Oh, Jesus.
Yes, my child.
Street performing has been amazing. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done. Also the most rewarding. I started in Scotland, Edinburgh, during the Fringe Festival, and that's always a great time. There's like 100 other street performers there, thousands of shows happening, and every show is fun and easy and amazing. And then I went from there to London, and in London I got my ass kicked. London is really tough.
Let me ask about the Edinburgh, because this is something I'm interested in as a street performer. What's it like with the Edinburgh? Do you have to like put in an application for it, or do you just show up, or like how does it work? In layman terms, for those of us who don't understand anything.
You just shoot them an email, say that you're coming, and you have to have public liability insurance. But you do a little application, and then you can basically just show up and work. But you do have to have a 45-minute show to do the big circle show spots, because like you can do shows for like thousands of people in the big spots, and then they have spots for smaller shows.
And
as well.
how does it work for those of us uneducated with street? Like how do you get a show? How do you get a spot? What's the process within that?
We show up all together at 10 a.m. Everyone usually really hungover, super tired.
Do you thumb wrestle or have to like Indian leg wrestle for the spots, or how does that work?
No, we draw our passes out of a hat, and whatever order you come up in, that's the order you get to sign up for your show.
That's a shame. I thought I had an edge. I'm an expert thumb wrestler.
One day. You can change the system from within.
So you show up at 10, and so do you always get a spot, or how does that work?
Sometimes you don't.
How dare they?
There's been lots of performers in like I've done it 2 years in a row, and this year we had like 100 performers at the draw once, which I think there is a bit of a problem with maybe acts that shouldn't necessarily be in the big spots coming, because I know they'll make more money in the big spots kind of thing. So I think they've been talking about how to try and control that a little bit, but I mean, you can still do shows. You'll get at least one in a day, but it maybe will be on the smaller pitch. It'll be a smaller show, a tougher show, but the odds are usually pretty good that you'll get something.
Sounds like a really like inspirational thing, even to just as like a new street performer like myself. To those of you who don't know, I've recently started street performing. I lived with Quinn maybe 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
And I procrastinated the shit out of street performing. Quinn was doing it every day. I got to see this guy start, so I'm pretty proud of just seeing where he's gone. So would you say even like just showing up there, even just to like watch shows and be a part of the process, could be really good and inspirational? You could learn a lot as an artist.
Even Eden, it like changed Eden. Eden was like little cups and balls kid. Like he did the cups and balls magic show.
This is a family-friendly podcast. Let's just try to keep the cups and balls to the later evening.
Wow. If that makes you laugh, you haven't been street performing for very long. And so, for those guys who don't know, Cups and Balls is like the most common magic show you'll see. Started by Gazzo quite a while ago. But yeah, it's super common. It's like the unicycle show of the magic world, basically. But yeah, that's what Eden used to do. Then he went there and just got his mind blown, and now he is the whip-cracking, shirtless cowboy with giant wings tattooed on his back.
Eden's show's hilarious, too. If you guys haven't checked it out, he's performing at Granville Island a lot this summer. He's one of these staple acts and just super funny. It's amazing what you can get away with culturally. Like some of his sweatshop jokes and stuff. I'm not going to give any of the bits away, but funny, dude.
He has some amazing political humor in his show.
Amazing political humor.
Very spot on.
Like,
my favorite one that he does is he sells. I mean, I don't know if you want. He'll never hear this anyway, so who cares? But he sells bandanas at the end of his show, and they have like his face on them. And what he'll do is he'll say, he's like, if you buy one of these bandanas, you can go put it on your face and go rob a bank, and the police will come to my house, and they'll arrest my brother. Not because we all look the same, but because my brother is black. Then, like, everyone laughs. All the white people are super uncomfortable. And he goes, calm down, white people. That's not a joke about black people. That's a joke about police. And it's just, it's so brilliant. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can get away with if you have, like, a little cultural leverage. So Eden's Asian. So that opens up a lot of doorways for jokes. Whereas, you know, if some crack-ass albino like myself tried to make a joke like that, it may not run over as smoothly.
I might get away with it with an Aussie accent.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I talk an Australian accent when I'm doing my street performance. All does. There's like Australian people listeners at home like, you suck. Yes, it's true. I'm working on it. So after Edinburgh, then what? Quinn?
Edinburgh.
Then what? Bubs.
Then I went to London, got my ass kicked, busking-wise. Realized my show wasn't as strong as I thought it was, and just kind of got torn down. I had to build myself from the ground up again.
This mic picks up everything.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a fidgeter.
He's a fidgeter, ladies and gentlemen.
And I have a cold, and I'm jet-lagged, and I haven't had sleep in like 18 hours.
That's perfect. This is what the people want.
Walking disaster.
I feel like it's really important because on social media all the time we portray ourselves as being these enlightened, empowered, chiseled creatures.
Oh, that's exactly what I am.
Exactly. That's exactly what you are. But it's good for me to portray my weakness and vulnerability because I feel like that's where people can really connect. They're like, oh, that guy sucks sometimes too, really badly. It's like, I can relate to that. I also suck. So you're in the UK. You're in Covent Garden doing your thing. Any funny exploits going on there?
Oh, like crazy stories?
Yeah, just something you could throw at our lovely audience.
Oh God, yeah. Oh man. On Christmas Eve, I was doing a show on Christmas Eve, and how Covent Garden works, it's like this beautiful big open space, and right in front of you, there's a pub on the second floor of the Covent Garden Market. So there's this balcony of people drinking that's basically overlooking your shows all the time.
What's Covent Garden?
It's Covent. Covent.
Well, what is that exactly for people that haven't?
Basically, it's a really hot tourist spot in London. It's basically there's the St. Paul's Church. It's like this giant, beautiful church, and this big open space, and they have a bunch of markets and just like little things to buy. It's kind of like Granville Island, but like ancient and
it's like
nice.
Ancient Granville Island on steroids.
Yeah, kind of.
It's like 80-year-old Granville Island on testosterone.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
It's like Sylvester Stallone if he was Granville Island.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess we could go there. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's beautiful. It's my favorite pitch in the world to work. To be honest, it's amazing, and it's been around for like hundreds of years. Like they were doing street show, like the Punch and Judy show. This puppet show went on there like over 100 years ago.
So it's kind of like the origins of street.
Yeah, it is, and there's a magic to it. It's absolutely beautiful. But anyways, one time I was doing a show there, and I went up at the end of the show. You can actually go up onto the pub balcony and hat them and get money from them, and it can be really good. Like up there, that's
where the 10-foot unicycle comes in.
Yeah, no, like because you run up there after your show, and I was hatting while I was up there, and this guy goes in to shake my hand, and instead of shaking my hand, he grabs my mic, which is still on, and yells, "I'm going to fuck her right in the pussy," into the mic as loud as he can. And this is like an $800 microphone he's yanking on. So
who was he referring to?
So I just I punched him in the stomach as hard as I could. I'm not a violent guy, but it just seemed like the easiest way to get out of this scenario. And instantly, like 5 security guys just jumped on him and took him down and
really?
just threw him out. Yeah. Because I knew all the security guys. It was self-defense, really, because he was like holding my head, holding the microphone.
They're not a fan of vaginal intercourse, is what you're saying.
Probably not. I don't know if I want this online, to be honest.
We'll keep it clean. Okay, so
we haven't.
So after Covenant Garden, don't worry. There's
coveting
the garden. After you're coveting the covenants of the Covenant Garden, it's okay. There's like 2 people listening to this,
okay,
and they're both mostly just trying to peek at my abs.
It's gonna like get dug up one day.
Viral. They're going to ruin Quinn Beasley's political career. Because he's making that last move for intergalactic senator of Mars. They're going to dig this up and be like, "Oh, you talked about doing things in the wazoo.
Martian lives matter.
Martian lives matter. All lives matter." Okay, so
what? Fuck you.
All lives don't matter is what Quinn's saying. Okay, this is really going to bite.
Should we go there? Should we go there?
Let's not. Bleeding heart, left liberal. I'm trying to balance it out with the right. Just I was trying to get a dynamic here, folks. This is love. This is brotherly love. So after the UK, and then what?
After the UK, I went to Australia. That was amazing.
Australia, mate. Where were you in Australia?
I started in Melbourne, and
love Melbourne.
It was really tough. I'd become like a massive show in Covent Garden. Like I got really successful while I was there, and kind of experienced like being a big show for the first time, and like making okay money, kind of thing. And then so I went to Australia just super cocky, just like, I'm going to go in and tear it up. And like my first show, I made like the smallest amount I've ever made. And it was just like, oh my God.
Humbling.
Yeah, it was humbling. I had to like start all over and just like build myself back up to be the
Why do you think it was
beast
difficult?
that I was in London. Just culturally different people. Like Australia is just different. The people just can't be bothered. In London, like
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah. It's the clean way of saying it.
Yeah.
Really, they just can't be fucked, mate. You know, they just in London, like people understand street theater a little bit more. I feel like they understand that it's a show.
Right.
Whereas in Melbourne,
it's more like ingrained in their culture.
Yeah, it just felt a little bit more judgmental in Melbourne. It was like they'll size you up instantly, and it was like every single person that stops, you have to convince them to stop.
How would you say that compares to somewhere like the Art Gallery?
Art Gallery is similar, actually.
Yeah, where people really just, they're like, "Who are you? What are you doing?"
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I'm trying to shop and you're in
very
my way.
judgmental. Yeah, definitely. Very similar. I was just working a pitch in Adelaide that was like that. It was like in a mall. And similar people to the Art Gallery. I'm a fidgeter, and you just fed me an entire cup of coffee. What do you want from me? Okay?
So, for those of you just listening, because there is no video, I just listen to a lot of podcasts where there is video, so I'm repeating that. Quinn keeps fidgeting with lighters and phones and stuff, and this microphone picks up everything, so I keep going to stop him, which in turn interrupt. Can you not hear that on the mic?
No.
Oh,
wow.
You guys can. Yeah, this mic's great. It picks up everything. And yes, I did feed him a lot of coffee. So, Adelaide, the mall.
Adelaide. Oh, Adelaide. Oh my goodness. I had a mental breakdown on that pitch, man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was like the hardest place I've ever worked. The people were just so it was so hard.
It's good to laugh at others'
It was
pain.
so hard. It was like, oh man. Yeah.
For the same reasons, just people just didn't want to give you the time of day.
Yeah, it was tough. Like people would just leave for no reason. Like you'd be doing a great show and people would just leave.
Like it's something I said.
Like you, yeah, like
body
literally,
odor?
like you've done not. Like usually, if someone leaves, if I'm doing a show in London or like Vancouver, I'll be like, I did something wrong and I'll find it. But like I was like on my A game in Adelaide. I mean, this is at the end of an 8-month tour. I'm just doing like 10 shows a week. So I'm like, I know
You're in the
I'm
zone. You're in
yeah,
that
I'm in the
state.
zone. I'm like, I know I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm one of the stronger shows on this pitch right now. Just people just left for no reason at all. Just like, oh yeah, we're gonna go now.
Right, and with street performing, it's such a lemming mentality, right? Like if people stay, it signals to the group it's time to stay, and vice versa, right?
Exactly.
So that one person leaving at that critical point, that could lead to other people leaving potentially. Yeah. And then Adelaide, anything else about any other wacky adventures in Australia? We're gonna wrap this up shortly. Just Bubs is jet lagging. He's been good enough to jump on the mic here for a few minutes just to humor me.
I'd like to do this again when I'm not totally
We're gonna do this again.
Fucked.
I just wanted to get that fresh. I haven't seen you for a while, like that.
That
vibe, that energy, that excitement. I wanted to capture that for.
There's no excitement
for all four of
it's
my
just like,
loyal
thank
listeners.
fucking God.
There's the people can feel it. Can you feel the Bubs tonight? Anything else? Bubs? You're back now.
I'm back. I'm very happy
ladies
to be
and
back.
gentlemen.
Super excited.
Quinn Beasley's back in Vancouver.
Excited to see you street perform.
I'm excited. I'm nervous for you to see me street perform, which is good.
You better be.
I am. There's a lot of pressure here. Hi.
I know that feeling, though.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. I like that feeling. I welcome that feeling of nervousness because it's kind of sad when you lose that as a performer. You know, when you go to do your show.
It's good and bad.
It's good and bad, but it's just, I love that thrill. That's why I love doing new shows. I love doing big shows because when I get that nervous butterflyness, I'm like, this nervousness is telling me that I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
I'm pushing my limits. I'm pushing my boundaries. And from that uncomfortableness, that's where
some of the best shows I've ever done, or like when I was like dry heaving backstage, just like so nervous.
Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit.
Vomit on my sweater already from Mom's spaghetti.
Mom quit feeding him spaghetti before the show for frick's sakes.
But yeah, and then also it does feel amazing to just go out and rock it, to like literally just be like off pitch, having a conversation with your buddies, like blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm up, and then just go out and do a rocker without even thinking, because like that happens as well when you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. It becomes second nature, like to the point where you can literally, like, I'll be like on my 10-foot unicycle doing my hat line, and I'm like maybe thinking about what I'm gonna have for dinner later. You know, like it can become second nature, which is nice to have that ability. I mean, I would rather be present in a moment, but sometimes, like, if you're on your third show of the day and you've done 3 shows a day for like a week, sometimes that's just where you are. You're just on autopilot mode.
Well, one of my favorite videos that I saw you post on Instagram was the one where you got people to like take a video of you or whatever to your mom.
Oh yeah.
Was that spontaneous?
That was spontaneous.
That was awesome.
That was a cool show.
I really enjoyed that.
Oh, wait, let me tell you about this show.
I really enjoyed
this.
That.
This was the biggest hat I've ever done in my entire life.
Ka-ching.
Ever. And
to those of you guys that don't know, hat is the amount of money that you make at the end of the show.
Yeah, which sounds vain. It was also a great show. I wouldn't say. Well, it might have been one of the best shows I've ever done. It was like, everything that could go right went right. Like, I wanted to take this video for my mom. I was like on the unicycle because I had this massive crowd.
It was super cute.
Like bigger than I've ever had. And then I'm like, guys, I want to take a video for my mom. And then I was like, oh no, I don't have my phone on me. My phone was sitting on my amp. And I had this 5-year-old kid up that was helping me with the show. I said, kid, go grab my phone. Grabs the phone. I'm like, kid, you're going to throw me that phone. I'm 10 feet up in the air on a unicycle, by the way. And the whole crowd just goes, and I see everyone just like pull in. And I'm like, okay, guys, we're going to count to 3. He's going to get me my phone. I knew, I'm like, if he gets it to me, if he messes this up and my phone smashes, like the show is kind of fucked. But if he gets it to me, this show will be amazing. So I had everyone count to 3. It was like 1,000 people going 1, 2, 3. And this 5-year-old kid just gives me the perfect throw. I catch it, and the crowd just goes absolutely insane.
That's amazing.
Like, and then after that, I got to do like, because before I started filming, it was touching because it was genuine. I was like, guys, like I love my job so much, but I actually haven't been home in 8 months, and I like really miss my family, and I like want to make a nice video for my mom. And I got this audible, just like, aww, from like 800 people.
That's beautiful.
That was it was a really beautiful show. And then I made a nice video for my mom.
Shoutouts to the Bub's mom. Good work. You got some
Carolyn
good.
Beasley.
You got some good magic. You got some good eggs. Good job. Good job, moms.
Thanks, Mom.
Good job, moms.
Dedicate this podcast to my mother.
Yep. Dedicated to all them mamas. Mamas, llamas. Single mamas, dramas, llamas. Cool. That's a great way to end this, man. Thanks for sharing, Bubs. I'm stoked to have you back. Stoked for a summertime of performing.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Cool, guys. Thanks for listening to the Shiny D experience featuring Mr. Quinn Beasley.
The Mighty Quinn.
Mighty Quinn, shoutouts.
Mighty Quinn.
Hashtag Mighty Beasley. Cool, guys. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Stay tuned for more in store, more stories of majestic magic and splendiferous, coniferous adventure. Coming at you.
Coming at your boy.